Right now, we go live to Port Harcourt in Rivers State, where the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, is set to address the press.
Good afternoon and compliments on the scene.
And of course, the next to Adu is a face that is also joining us for the first time. Festus Eri is of the Nation, actually the weekend IT editor that Saturday and Sunday editions of the Nation.
Yes.
Good to see you, Festus.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone, sir.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, barely see you, we think that, time for a response to Sheyi leaks, or is it marketing leaks, or whichever. Is set. But before we get to all of that, let's start on the general notes, Honorable Minister. The year is just maybe we can count hours now to the end of the year. I just want to quickly look back at the year. The good, the bad, the ugly. Do you have any regrets? And what will be your high point as well for the year?
Well, of course, as a human being, there are ups and downs, and there are challenges, and you are there to solve such challenges. But generally, one would say that it has been very good for us. We have seen a lot of changes in FCT, which of course is what people expect us to do. For me, it's been a very tremendous year, even though we may not have achieved what we have set up for ourselves because of one or two, setbacks, So I would say that it's a very good year for us. I will believe by the time we get to next year, the residents of Abuja will see more positive changes in the territory.
And for you as a person, are there moments of regrets? Are there things that maybe your reflection now you could have done differently?
Like I said,
In the last 1 year.
Like I said, I'm human. You don't expect things to be smooth all the time, But I don't have any regrets. Every role I have taken, everything I've set up for myself, I've been able to achieve it. Yes, there could be one or two setbacks, like I've said. It's bound to happen, but I have no regrets. Every decision I've taken, I have no regrets.
Not even the encounter with the young man, the young naval officer?
I'm saying this, I think that you expect a governance. That shouldn't be why you should regret. No. That things that in governance that is you expect to see, and then if that happens, that shouldn't be why you say there are problems. No, those are the things you are bound to surmount, and we just surmount it. So we're happy about it.
So there's so much to remind the Honorable Minister about this last 1 year.
Yes, one of the biggest developments because of this year is the evident fracture of your political party, the PDP. So many people have left your party, making it look difficult for the party to be electable. Do you still see yourself as a committed PDP member? And do you think your party can bounce back from the mass defection from its ranks?
There's nothing that is impossible. Once you are committed to carrying out the based on due process, there's nothing that is impossible. First of all, what is happening to my party is what I have predicted before now. That if things are not done in the right way, this is where we're going to find ourselves. No Nigerian will say that they have not, they didn't know what I said. I have said it severally. I'm not going to say leadership is very key to anything you are doing. Leadership in association, leadership in government. If the leader do not take the right decision, this is how it's bound to be. And what we have had this kind of issue before, when the party did not collapse. Nobody was affected because the leadership was committed to seeing that factual changes are made in order to keep the party going. But when you have a leadership that is not even focused, a leadership that is very selfish, a leadership that does not understand that in politics is different from business. And so you are bound to see what you are seeing today. And if they correct themselves, obviously, mind you, this is a party that is known in all grassroots. This is a party that's done all Nigerians. It's not a new party. From 1999, the People's Democratic Party had been in power, and unfortunately in 2015, they lost to the APC. And still retained probably a number of seats. Also be present in the National Assembly. But you have a leadership that's not focused. You have a leadership that does not even know what to do. You have a leadership that does not even take any subversions. And that is where we are. So if the leadership is committed and comes back to say, look, we have made a mistake. Why is it that things are happening this way now? What do we do to correct us? You see, it's not just to take over government. You have to position yourself. If the leadership is right, okay, look, by 2027, it's likely that we may not make it. But are we going to allow the party to die? Can't we start to build up? Let us take the right decision against 2031. It's all dependent on leadership. That's all I will say.
Okay, but let's get into it now then. You're sounding like you want unity and collaboration between leadership, but Seyi Makinde is accusing you of doing the opposite. So if we get into his media chat that happened not too long ago, he mentioned you by name and said in a meeting with the president that you were present and the president's chief of staff was present, that you said to the president that I will hold PDP for you. And then he said that he went with you to the veranda or the balcony and said, this is not what we planned, or this is not what was agreed to. And then he said that if you're free to support the president if you want to, but he is free not to. Now, is that factual? Because he said other people were there.
That's the blatant lie. And that's why, you see, Seyi Makinde has never called me Wike. Never. That's the first time I am saying Wike. They've never called me Wike one day. It's unfortunate. First of all, you ask yourself, what was that meeting? What is the purpose of that meeting? That would have led me to say, Mr. President, I hold PDP for you. Why did Seyi Makinde not come up all this while to tell the party, see what Wike is doing? I was in a meeting and see what Wike said. It is not correct. And let me put the record straight. There is no such meeting. Rather, my humble self, the former governor of Benue State, Atom, the former governor of Abia State, Ibazu, the former governor of Benue State, Ugwaye, and Seyi Makinde, we went to see President.
That's the G5.
Yes, we went to see President to discuss, of course, elections were over, to discuss about certain things. While we were there, the chief of staff, of course, you should know that the chief of staff is always around the president. I was the one who said, look, chief of staff, I'll come and so that we can, remind the president of what we have discussed. There was nothing like a meeting we booked to go and see Mr. President. So you couldn't, it is completely out of place for anybody to say that in that meeting, I said to Mr. President, I will hold PDP that for you. That's very unfair. Very, very unfair. Totally unfair. And you see, I have told everybody, frustration, if you can see, if you watch Seyi Makinde on that video, you can see frustration. And this is a young man who have advised severally. Politics is not like being a contractor, Michelle. Politics is not like being a contractor with the public. It can't be fair rules. It can't be fair. When did Seyi Makinde come into politics? When did he come into politics? And you see, there's nothing wrong with having ambition. But the ambition must be tailored according to the rules.
Ambition, what is the ambition? Running for president or what?
They don't even have the guts to tell them they want to run for president. Let me say that I tell anybody. But we know, we are not kids. You see, there are things you can do. You think that people don't know. People know. They watch you. They follow what is going on. How did PDP enter this crisis? It is Seyi Makinde's ambition. How did he enter the crisis? He went and arranged with some people to make sure that that secretary is ousted. He wanted people to go to State High Court in Enugu. When you know that the state government has no jurisdiction over that matter, they got the judgment, no problem. Somebody went to the Court of Appeal. On an appeal, somebody won. We all agreed that the party to move on. Look, convention will be coming. Why not allow this to go on? We have only 1 year. So what are you pursuing? In the convention, you will make sure those who don't want them to come back will not come back. He refused and went to Supreme Court. When he got to Supreme Court, he lost. He still believes that the Supreme Court said the party has no jurisdiction. Come on, what are you doing? Who appealed to Supreme Court? You and your colleague, you and your co-host appealed to Supreme Court and you lost. Until when they went to INEC, INEC told them, listen, as far as we are concerned, in our system, the secretary of the PDP is Senator Sam Right? Now, Saraki, we could hear this witness. We have met the Saraki's guest house sovereignly. Simply, the governor of Adamawa was there. Bala, the chairman of government for was there. Saraki said, well, yeah. There's nothing you have agreed to do that Makinde will not get a different thing. There's nothing. And this is why we are here today. Because, okay, look at even the convention, for example. The board of trustees set up a committee to say, what do we do? Committee headed by the King Adamawa, former governor of Osun, former deputy governor, and chief of staff to President Jonathan Ododome. So the Zenam Kure and 2 other people came up with a reform. Look, let's not wait for this convention. Let's set up caretaker committee. The same thing, of course, you know that first Wabara. He has done him. You know he has done him.
But just better him.
But the other thing, has done the bad of done the bad of them. Let me know what to do of the senator when I just brought 15 years. Everybody is aware of that. He went, the man denied and said, oh, the committee was compromised. The accused judgments of the Federal High Court, Justice Omotosho and Justice Rufi, substantive judgment, not others. Shima Kinde, Naga says frustration can make you do a lot of things and cause damage. He went to Ibadan State High Court to obtain an ex parte order. State High Court to obtain an ex parte order for them to still go on with that convention. How could an ex parte order override substantive judgment of 2 courts? Of course, he had done his so-called convention. INEC was not there. INEC refused to recognize them. Then, in that same matter, INEC filed a preliminary objection to say that, look, court, you have no division over us. Why would you be a party to this? And the court agreed and struck out INEC name. So there was nothing binding on INEC. The same person now had gone to Federal High Court in Ibadan to recognize them. To recognize the convention we have done. The convention of Federal High Court has said, you cannot go ahead and do. You have either disobeying the court judgment, you go find at the Federal High Court now in Ibadan that look, recognize us as the legitimate principal officers. That has not been settled. You are going to go to Federal High Court in Abuja against police on see the secretary so you can use. Why not wait for the Federal High Court to say, okay, you are the legitimate principal officer. So the point I'm making is now, look at where PDP is today. Look at the crisis. Something that would have been easily solved. Listen to the voice of elders. Don't go ahead. Let's form caretaker committee. Today, PDP has no candidates in Ekiti State. Today, PDP has no candidates in Osun State. Now, when you say one party state, who is making us have a one party state? If you are listening to people and allow due process to take place, with the issue of one party state arise, you are the one who is creating one party state. And then you are accusing the government of trying to have a one-party state. Just listen to what people have said and following the process. By now, we need to be talking about one-party state. Now, having taken wrong steps, now if you destroy your party, you are not accusing the other party of wanting to have a one-party state. It doesn't make sense.
Excellency, if I may, before Rotus asked that question, leading to Mr. Sheyi Makinde's question, chat, my colleague here, right in the middle, I call him BKO. I'm trying to remember his first name. Jide had raised the issue of the leadership, and you had said that if the leadership of the party doesn't listen, etc., you had also spoken to something leading up to a convention. That you had told them, or there had been suggestions that whatever grounds they had against the national secretary of the party should be held up until they entered the convention. So it seemed like all was geared towards this convention, only for us to hear much later that no, there were suggestions that the convention be stepped down. Even you yourself had mentioned that Mr. Samayan was going to be secretary of the party up until the convention. What made people change their minds about this convention? At what point did the
or had any Congress, and therefore they are not eligible to vote in that convention. 16 states, and people went to court and said, "No, you cannot do this. Let's follow due process." Take for example, you want to do zoning. I'm a minister of the Federal Republic. We have senators from the south. What Sheyi Makinde did was to call a few people and take them to Lagos and said that they have zoned the offices that came to the south. How would you do that? How will you disqualify very prominent members of the party? Is this ambition I'm talking about? Is this ambition? And people say, look, it is not going to be possible. If things are not done correctly, this is where it's going to lead us. And that was why they now formed this elders committee to look into the matter and bring us suggestions on the way forward.
Were all parties agreed to that elders committee?
Of course. In fact, when they came to me, I told them because of the respect I have for them, ordinarily, I wouldn't want to participate because I have respect for them. Look at the old man who's the chairman of the committee. It's not like it's something years. Look at the former governor of Osho. Look at Senator Zarab Ekure. And when I told them all this, look, the only way out, if not for selfish interest, let us agree, come together, form a committee so that we'll not take it from there. But if you are going to have this kind of convention where 16 states will be denied the opportunity to participate, and where some people say, look, you went and took forms without allowing people collecting funds to participate, that is leading to crisis. And that's why I say, look, the way you run your business is not the way you run a party. Party is a different thing. It's not about you have money, you're a millionaire. No. It's a different ball game. And you have to be careful.
But there are other elders in the party.
Yeah.
Someone like the Senator, he's the Senator, George, of Lagos State.
George. Yes. He was never a senator.
Who was at that convention and who announced your expulsion from the party?
So that's why, again, people like Bode George had nothing to contribute to this party. Since 1999, Bode George was the deputy national chairman of PDP. Had PDP ever won in Lagos? since 1999. You claim as a leader.
They've won seats
No.
in the House of Reps.
Oh, what's winning? What is that? We are talking about Lagos State. That you win one seat for how many years? Since 1999 till now. The only thing is, PDP is strong. You use the PDP is strong based in River State. We will produce anything you want to produce based on another state. But in your own state, you are not able to win anything since 1999. So how can you allow such a person to begin to dictate to the party? You see, party means that what can you contribute? As I sit here, as a PDP member, and anybody who knows my position knows my position, we said, if you don't do this right, we will not support this. I will support the president. However, in the National Assembly, governorship, and state assembly, PDP won. That means we have something to contribute. You, every day, come out on national television to talk because you have no job again. So when you say people like Bodejo, he's an old man, yes, but we're for relevant.
And he supported your agreement that, there must be, how do I put it now, that, the presidency must go to the South.
I have always canvassed that.
Yes, at that point, was he relevant to you or not?
No, it has nothing to do with supporting that the president must go to the South. The relevant is what you contribute from your state to give to the party. It's not that you said the presidency must go to the South. Okay, having said so, what will happen in your state? If the presidency goes to the South, then we'll fail in your state or won't have anything of whatever relevance. Simply because you said presidency should go to the South. If you mean that presidency should go to it, will mean that you have to work in your state for us to actualize it. To deliver, if you cannot deliver, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, Excellency, there is now a 10-member caretaker committee led by Abdurrahman to manage the affairs of the party for the next 60 days.
Yeah.
But under the constitution of your party,
Yeah.
sections 29 and 31 of the constitution of the party vests that power in the neck. Under which authority was this particular caretaker committee set?
That was neck. Mind you, at the so-called Amala Convention that was held in Ibadan. Of course, people want to go and eat Amala. So that's why I call it Amala Convention. That had, remember, the chairman of the party there had already abdicated. Right? Those of them who believed in that convention had already abdicated. Now the national secretary, the legal advisor, the deputy national legal advisor, the organizing secretary, and all of them are still members who said our tenure will expire December 9th. I'm a member of NEC. So NEC met and said, look, we cannot allow a vacuum. There cannot be a vacuum. Because if we allow a vacuum and their tenure expires, who will not parley the affairs of the party?
Was that a quorum?
Of course. No, but nobody has anybody come to challenge that there was no quorum. So, as it is today, in fact, we are even going to sue INEC. We are going to sue INEC. INEC has no choice but to recognize the caretaker committee. They have no choice. Because their tenure having expired. You don't expect that we don't caretaker to run the affairs of the party. I remember that we have said we must obey court judgment. We must obey. Having obeyed the court judgment, who said there should be no convention, and the tenure was going to expire on the night, of course, it's natural that NEC had to sit and say, look, let us now appoint caretaker committee that will now run the affairs of the party till when the convention is now held. And the committee was set up, and they were told that you should take all steps to see that those states that have not had their congresses will go ahead and hold their congresses. Thereafter, there will be a national convention. So, as it is today, the appropriate authority that can talk about PDP is the caretaker committee. These are the people who came up for the Amala Convention Of course, they've seen it. They are not recognized. And INEC has said it. But the mistake INEC is making is that to say, oh, there's no committee. We wrote to INEC that NEC is going to take place. We wrote to INEC. And interim decisions will be taken. And decision was taken. And caretaker committee was set up. And you cannot allow that. No, it's not done anywhere.
Was with the nation of type over.
Okay. Yeah.
And will not be about that. Now,
Very big. That what is this said they were Yakati said oh that was 83 years still lost the very $1 million. Capital said that now perhaps your paying needs are given in the something that's so we shall pick up right on
Well, it's most unfortunate. I didn't come to talk about money. If he had $1 million, I thank God for that. And at least my sister is also enjoying that $1 million. If my sister enjoyed that $1 million, I'm also enjoying. But with due respect, that's why I say frustration. I ran for the presidential primary of PDP. I didn't say she used 1,000 naira in my primaries. I never saw it one day. 2, it's only in Nigeria I have seen where somebody was awarded a job of $1 million. He made profit of $1 million. And nobody's talking about it. I just saw him one day. He brought a document that he made that was given $1 million contract. And again, he made profit of $1 million. I pray to Almighty God that one day too, I will have a job of $10 billion and make profit of $10 billion. Well, that's what it has shown. That's what it has shown. But let us not be petty. I had my first degree early, before 1990, I had my first degree. Law was my second degree. That time he was talking about 1999. I was chairman of what was the most important local government in this country. I've never been a contractor. He chose to be a contractor. I choose to have power, and I had the power. Remember, he was here doing contract with Shell. In fact, he comes. I didn't know he was going to marry my sister anyway. So, oh, my vehicles have been impounded. Please help to release my vehicle. That is power. That's government. I was in government. He has to do the business according to the rules I've set in the LGA. And so, what is whether you make $1 million? But he also forgot. The same man that had no $1 million. First of all, Sheyi, in 2007, ran under AMPP as senator. He lost. He lost. Sheyi in 2013-14, Munikat Adiola, former leader of the House of Reps, one Senator Jose, we call him Hallelujah, they all brought brought Sheyi to me to give him the structure of PDP in Oyo State. The man who had no $1 million, he had $1 million. But he came to the man who had no $1 million to help him to get structure. We said, no, we will not give you. We gave it to Taslim Folarin. He went to SDP to run as governor. He failed. He failed, which is $1 million. He failed. Now, it was before 2019, he came back. We said, okay, now, we are ready to give you structure. I was already grounded in politics. I was grounded, but I had no $1 million with me. But the man who made $1 million is going around looking for people who help him to have a structure. It's the one who gave him that structure that Sheyi became governor in 2019. Now, when you talk about G5, you see, G5 was formed in Basic Adoko. We said the South, President Buhari hasn't had 8 years. It is natural that the presidency should go to the South. Of course, that's why I say, when you play game, sometimes it boomerangs. People like Atiku and the rest of them thought they were too smart. They now took the chairman of the party, led by one another crook. Why they call him Dr. Ayu. He knows he can't sue me. I've said it severally. This is not the first time. It's not the second time.
On national television, not just one time.
No, but everybody knows. I have said it in more than 20 televisions.
Yeah, but you can't call somebody.
No, but let him sue me. No, but you took bribe from Atiku in Lagos.
That's another one.
No, let him. He knows now. What is it? Look. We know ourselves. We know ourselves. I mean, for me to say this, he should know that. He should have sued me to court up to now. He can't. But anyway.
Your Excellency.
No, let me finish.
Are you saying crooks know themselves?
If you're a thief, don't you know yourself? Yeah, a thief should know himself that he's a thief.
But are you a...
No, I'm not. No. No, the point I'm making, we're in the same party. We are politicians. We know ourselves. We know who is who. That's the point I'm trying to make. No, those who think that are those who already have something in mind. You know, all I'm saying is that we're in the same party. We are the same politicians. We know who is who. So, we say, look, you cannot have chairman at the same time have the presidential candidate. Like Shay said, we had several meetings in London, where even when we agreed with Atiku, before he came back, they changed their mind. It's okay. If he does not resign and allow the South to produce a chairman, then there'll be a problem. Of course, you know that time, they had this belief that President Buhari was supporting them. So for them, everything you say, we have already won the election. We said, we are not going to support you. And we will not support you. And PDP failed. It's not that we're happy, but let there be justice. Let there be fairness in whatever we're doing. So, Chief Agnet, let me tell you one thing that you should know. When we agreed on this, Chay's problem was the issue that he was not giving ministerial a slot. Even when he was saying, you can see the anger. You can see the anger. Yeah, you don't need to tell anybody. We told him this. Calm down. We went to that. That's one of the issues why we went to see President. To say, look, sir. And President said, look. I'm the president of this country. Just take it easy. There are certain factors I may not have considered. However, something has to be done. He made that. But again, already he has made up his mind. So this issue of, in fact, I remember now, there was a time the Rivers Ijo had a reception for me in Port Harcourt here. So when autumn, that was just to look you back. When autumn, the former governor of Benue, they went to speak. He said that, look, we are going to support president to do second term. Sheyi Makinde, now, in Wednesday, replied on page of this paper that, why would you say such a thing? I called him. I said, yes. Even if he says so, you don't need to go and react. All you say, let's call it meeting. See, look, this statement you made, it's too early to have made it. For you to do this, you are showing as if there's a division amongst us. Like I said, frustration has come. And sometimes too, and you know, having made that $1 million early, he reacts. So, it's because when he looks back, he sees the letter of $1 million dollar. He forgot that Dangote was not the first person who made $1 million. But today, he's the richest man in Africa. You know.
But so, it be possible, sir, that all along, for a very long time, that different instances of Lord Martin had shown to other members of TPN that his own political interest, his own political interest completely depends on that.
We started noticing, like I said, when we met in Lagos, George's Hotel. We've met in West Carlton, where I used to stay. We have met in his house. We said, look, you are the governor we have now. Whatever that is going to happen in the governor's forum and the caucus meeting, let us know before we go for such meeting, we'll be able to know what to discuss. He never one day, and that's how we came to realize that he's behind removing Senator Samaya was to make sure he achieves the total control of the party. It was when we now saw that, look, this guy has a different thing in mind. And for us, I've asked him one day, listen, if you are going to run for president, tell us. We are the ones here that are going to make it happen. I'm not going to run because it will be unfair for me to run and stand in an election against the person who has appointed me. I mean, at least I have conscience. Even though people were rumoring, oh, be careful of Wike, he's going to run, you don't do this kind of thing. Now, and I'm doing this. I want the South to simulate the president. But if you run now, how would you not think that you will do only one time? Will you go and negotiate with them that you will do one time? It's not going to work. How would they trust you? Because you know, once you have the power, it's a different thing. So they will prefer for the president to even finish the 8 years than you to come and do 4 years and then later you blame politics you want to do second term. Let us, this has to be planned well. You have to be careful. But like I said, money can make you not to see well. You know, the kind of money the governors have now, we never saw it. That's why most of them make mistake. They think everything is about money. When they look this way, look at what that has come. In all my life, as governor for 8 years, I have never received a refrigeration account throughout 1 year. I've never received more than 200 billion naira. Never. The records are there. This one now, you see, don't you wonder, even states, who you thought that are now making budget of 1 point something a trillion. Why? Because the removal of the subsidy by the president, who took a bold step, has now made money available to the states. And so most of them are blindfolded. And I tell people, money has its own limitation. Money has its own limitation. It's not everything yet. People say money is everything. No. The areas money can go. But goodwill can go. Goodwill can go. So it's not everything that you think money will work. No. And you know Nigeria, it is unfortunate. Now that Nigerians know so much money are in the States. So many Nigerians are very smart to see that they have their own share from the cake. Yes. If I had the kind of money they have now.
You know the value is not the same thing.
What is value? What is value? I mean, let us, excuse me, let us not use this exchange rate and this. I don't care about that. What if I have today, whatever you may say, I have 500 billion naira in the state account, or I have 500 billion naira in FCT today? You will not believe what I will do with it. How much do I get in the FCT? I get 1% of the share that federal government gets. Take for example, if federal government gets 1 trillion, 1% of 1 trillion is 10 billion naira. That is not enough to pay salary. What do? I go back or entirely generated revenue. So, but look at what has happened in Abuja. So it's not a matter of value. People, that's the argument People come up with, oh, you know, what's the exchange rate of this? That's rubbish. Total rubbish.
Minister, I know that you are going to open a register which you are enable federal to begin to take us in the line of villages, real estate, and all of that. But before we get there, still on this matter, we've had through one of your close confidants, although not a member of the spy, but somebody very close to you, former governor, who actually said that the real reason he went to the Yila for that DeFi meeting was a party governance element, and the captain did persuading the president to assist on your state over the borders that people in Dhaka. And actually,
First was not, did not go with us. What we went to see President for, with all due respect, is, look, she is getting too, you know, too confrontational, and I'll say it's not necessary. Let's go and see President. There's no need you challenging President because he didn't get me. So the other things you will get. And who President said yes, the other things you will get. But, you know, like I said, because he has made up his plan. You know, what baffles me, she said that I told President I will hold PDP for you. Okay, assuming, do not consider, assuming I said so, assuming. In Yoruba land, Sheyu knows that the president is a ball. Is not correct? He's an elderly person. He's a senior. I'm not a Yoruba person. Assuming. And that was such a meeting. Is that what you can come out in the public and say that somebody who is not for Yoruba is saying that, look, sir, I'm going to help you to hold PDP for you to win the election. I said, assuming, even though nothing like that happened. Me who said that, I've not gotten the kind of support she got from the presidency. I've not. I have not gotten one approval on grant. When she wrote to president, the same man he is talking about, that did not give him ministerial. Then she come and say, what I don't like in people is time to say, show evidence. It's not the issue of show evidence. Say, Magani, can you look up to God and say, it is not applied to president for a grant of 50 billion, who the president approved for you? Can you, in your conscience, say so? It did not. Can you, in your conscience, say, it did not collect such money? You know, everything we like to politicize it. You said, I told president, I'm going to hold PDP for you. Me, that's holding PDP for president, I've not gotten any such grant. You, that you are angry, you have gotten such a... But the point is that, see, you can be helped through several ways. And one of such ways, that president look at it, I'll support you with this, with this, with this, with this. And that's why you think that that's not enough for you. And so, it baffled me, I will not lie to you. Because if such a thing took place, I would have told you, yes. It never took place. Go and inquire from autumn. In fact, they all called me when they had this thing. They said, what kind of rubbish is this? How can you say that we went for a meeting and then I said this? I can. In any case, who does not know my position as regards to Tribu's president? Do I need to tell him that? Nigerians have had me say severally, I'm going to support president. So how would I now go and tell him, president, don't worry, I will hold down PDP for you? It doesn't make sense.
See such a that for the president here Serape on ministerial stuff. Remember his supporters, and there's a pitch.
He lost the National Assembly elections because he was working
For the president's purpose. say, to whether it makes up to water.
Okay, so now what's the Matia and his people are saying that out of all of the 2,500 you are the one who are benefiting to Langos local because others have been paid not to accept the behavioral per agreement that they're
no, let me tell you.
Say, you help me, you keep no state, and your state vote gave more votes for the president than another state in the south.
No. See, it is a bad faith. Let me tell you. When you say that PDP lost because he was working for president, why didn't PDP lose in River State because he worked for president? Who took out the National Assembly seat? The president won. It's not the same election. That is not correct. Remember, the president also is a Yoruba man. There's also that sentiment that we have to vote for our own. It's there. So it has nothing to do with because you work for president. That's how you lost out in National Assembly. It's not correct. If that is the issue, then we would have also lost out in National Assembly here. Go to the same election. We told our people, vote for president, National Assembly, don't vote for APC. And we achieved it. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong in president giving you ministerial slot. But mind you, he's a president. There are things you don't know that he knows. If the president has called you and said, look, listen, there are other things. When he said me benefit, what did I benefit? The benefit is that the position that will come to River State, take for example, Wike, National Population Commission, will you be given to anybody other than Rivers people? That is the outcome. The position that will go to NDDC, River State must be represented. Will you be given to because you're a G5? You go and give it to somebody from Oyo? No. As a minister, I have a duty to also make sure those of them who were all together also benefit other ways. It's not only appointment. Like I said, why did the president give such an approval if the president does not mean well for him?
Or you benefited the treasury single account, which
what's my benefit of single? Using my money that as a president, look, if you want anything to improve in FCT, pull us out from single treasury. What is the essence of single treasury account? We are not revenue collector for the federal government. So why should we be a single treasury account? So it's not personal to me. It's for FCT to move on. And they have seen the benefit. So when you say I benefited, what did I benefit? Is the resident for me to do my job, which I'm doing today. If we are still in a single treasury account, it would have been difficult to carry out some, because at that time we don't have we can't go to bank to borrow. Because the bank will say, what is the collateral? The money will not go to them, it goes to central bank. But now, with pulling out of single treasury account, we have access to go to the bank to solicit. We will deposit our IGR, collect social amount of money from IGR every month, give us this loan to be able to carry out our infrastructure. So that is the benefit. It has nothing to do with personal. No.
Well, we're going on a break shortly, but I'm sure.
Yes, so I want to clarify H.G. McInerney from your perspective. Someone sus, right? He said you've lied about, say, like $1 million seems like exaggeration. You mentioned the amount of money the states are, but like rapid is also beautiful, right? 2.4 so your last sees all weapons. Now, former governor of states clarified, she said that markedly use appropriated these funds. The Oyo State chapter of ABC has come out to say that it should account for the money. His statement came out to say that it was actually I think about 50 at be dispersed and super was about so from 1 May, and then if it was about 4.5 or so, can't you trust it on the use of esports from the
Well, I have no power. It is the people there. First of all, if such money, whether it is 1 billion naira, was given to you by Mr. President, approved by Mr. President, you owe a duty to tell the Oyo people, see what President has done for us. And I will appropriate it and make sure it is put in the budget for people to know we are getting this money from based on the promise Mr. President has made, right? But you see, it's unfortunate people didn't know. Now, because of this incident, people are like, but you collected so money. And then his aides that say, no, it's only 30 billion. Fine. Whether it's only 30 billion or 1 billion. Did you tell all your state people that Mr. President, by his own magnanimity, approved this for you? So it now behoves on your people to say whether such a person can be trusted or not. We wonder if I don't trust, am I going to vote? Yeah, no. But if you say politically, as we concern political relationship, I'll be afraid. And you know, one thing with me, I need to ask anybody. That's why it's difficult to have long-standing relationship with me. Why? I hate anything that has to do with distrust. I hate anything that has to do with, look, I'm doing something and I say, look, me and Ben have agreed on this thing. And then I see the step Ben guys take it, which is not in tandem with what we have agreed. Have to be very careful with such a character. In fact, it wasn't the situation. They even go and lie. It could have been if you have even said, that's what we're discussing. That I said so. Well, I was okay. But to say that we had a meeting with the president, first of all, who are those in that meeting? He said, Chief of Staff in Saturday. He didn't mention former governor of Abia. He didn't mention former governor of Benue. He didn't mention former governor of Enugu. What was the purpose of that meeting? Who called for the meeting? The president called you for the meeting. We went and said, look, we want to see president. And president said, okay, come to the house. We went to the house, as usual, and said, look, sir, we are still available. We'll still work together. So what is the issue of saying that we had a meeting and to start with, she cannot. He does not have what it takes to tell me that. He does not have it. He knows. Yeah, he had never called me Wike. In fact, that's why when I watch him, I say, Wike. She knows he does not have that. And to hell with it, he said $1 million. Who knows? What's my business is with $1 million? Did he pay my school fees? Did he pay all your state people their school fees with the $1 million?
We need to go on a quick break now. We know it's your in-law. They can shoot to call you by your first name. If he was...
No, that is a disrespect. That's not my name. That's my father's name. He cannot do that. He has never done that. He don't know how what it takes. Forget that he's a governor. He gets more money than me in FCT. He said that he have not benefited as me being a minister in FCT.
Let's go on a quick.
He can't say so.
When we come back, we've been issuing this threat of January. Politics is cast in January.
Yep.
I see everybody's running up and down. What is going to happen in January? When we come back from this break, that will be our starting point. We're on a break.
Some truth was gotten to, but in recent days, it appeared that peace which was achieved is now shaking somewhat, and it appeared that all is not well at home. So this is coming on against the backdrop of comments by the governors of the state in Nelai Tubara that it seems that he's now been given the all clear to join the All Progressives Congress. Is this a part of the plan, or is this something that has happened behind your back? This is something that you are aware of, because the commentary you have made in recent times suggests that you might not be happy with that particular development.
I cannot say that you have any right to stop somebody from associating with any party or whatever. And from what you've seen, there's nothing left that anybody will say that why you still want to remain in PDP because of the leadership tussle. The only thing I say is that somebody would think that when you say your mandate will stand, that gives you automatic ticket. And that's what I said though, that will not give any automatic ticket. You have to work, you have to earn the ticket for you to be able to represent your people. So many governors have left PDP. I have been accused, if you remember, so many governors have accused me that I'm working for APC to be able to destroy PDP. But the same people have also left PDP to go to APC. So I'm not surprised that my governor had to go to APC. No, I'm not surprised. It doesn't mean by clearance. I'm not the owner of APC. So it doesn't mean by clearance for him to say that. In natural, you saw that assembly people left for APC. You saw that all the party council chairman left for APC. I mean, it's natural that the governor will also have to leave for APC.
Yeah, but the comments you have made suggest that these are developments that you are not happy with. So, for instance, in recent times, you had a meeting with leaders from Obiakpo and other local governments around the Query, saying that we cannot be used and dumped. Agreement is agreement, and other such comments. And people are suggesting that this has to do with the defection of the governor. This also has. And you can correct us if we're wrong. Does this have anything to do with your relationship with the president? Because there'll be questions as to who is using who and who is dumping who.
No, it has nothing to do with the president. At all, let me make that clear. It has nothing to do with the president. I had to go to Paul to thank him. Remember, if you are not in the States and you're away, the likelihood that people may want to be able to change their mind towards your leadership. And then you find out again that despite the fact that you're away, people are still willing to be with you. And this really demands that, look, go back to them and say thank you for standing with me all this period. And because showing gratitude is one thing that God loves so much. And if you show gratitude, the likelihood that you get more things. So what I say, man, that is that, look, and so many things where I wish, and we believe that the other party, the assembly, and the other parties have been able to, play their own part. And it's expected that the governor and some people should be able to play their own part. If that part is not being played, and then you think that the only way you can achieve it. If I say, okay, let me join the party that the president belongs to, no. What do I say? Look, there are tools and certain things where I agree. And there is need for you to fulfill those things and that mission to be able to fulfill their own part. So that's the point I'm making, not the question of using me and people, that has nothing to do with that.
So as a follow-up to Mokpe's question, one of the contentious areas of the disagreement before the state of emergency was imposed was this issue of structures. And so this morning we saw on TV that the governor has sent emissaries to his local government to collapse the PDP structure there to APC. And so is structure likely to be a fresh point of disagreement between you and the governor?
I don't know about collapsing. The chairman of the council there is APC. And you are not directly to the other 22 local government. Out of the 22 local governments, you have about 20 being APC and two being PDP. The likelihood that those two will join APC. And if they do that, it means that working together they have to collapse whatever structure they have. First of all, when you say you are joining the party, there is something you have to offer. Right? Right. Someone has said it. The government is moving. You have assembly to move it. You have council chairman to move it. You have party chairman to move it. You have national assembly to move it. Well, in this case, these people have already left on their own. on their own, by their own volition. We saw Assembly was one that took the first decision. Remember, when the Assembly defected before, they did not defect, all they said, on your mandate we stand that is for defection. Because all they say is that way to support Mr. President. And then the right came out to say, well, this time around, supporting Mr. President, we have to join his party. And the same thing has happened to the other candidates of PDP who say, look, we're also defecting to APC. So it has nothing to do with the other government collapsing APC, PDP structure. So yeah, in last state here, I can tell you, we have only maintained that since a president who is supported. Whether you're PDP, whether you're APC, all of us have maintained that we have to support a president. This is not the first time we did in 2023. We were PDP, we supported Mr. President. But the point I'm trying to make is that so many people are now thinking that the moment they share their mandate, it becomes automatic. No. So people are going to do that. They are supporting president. But it doesn't mean that we must have automatic ticket. We are supporting president based on certain factors which we have seen severally.
So let me just butt in here. The question people are asking is how much longer do you have left in the PDP with all the people around you, the local government chairman, literally all the local government chairman in your state in the APC now, your governor too in the APC, federal lawmakers in the APC. So how much longer are you going to remain in the PDP?
No, they will not find that people have left and gone to APC. They will not mean I have to leave. No. It's not correct. So are you a member of PDP? I'm a member of PDP. That's why I'm still there. That's why you see Sherry is not happy.
Even when all those around you, all your food soldiers are all in APC.
It's not correct. They're not a member of that family, a council chairman or a member of that family does not mean that no other persons. It's not correct.
But that's what constitutes the structure in the real sense.
Well, you may think so. But there are also structures in terms of party. There are also structures in terms of party.
So if you are working for the president and you are not a member of his party, and the governor is a member of his party and is working for the president, do you think that at some point there will be conflict, clashes, particularly as to who decides what?
Or who is the leader of the party?
For instance, we saw the party's national machinery moved in his view to receive him. So he was registered with so much fanfare, giving 001. The leader of the APC in Rivers.
Can I tell you something? Where does that leave you? Can I tell you something? When it's a fanfare, they come to APC with who? He said, what is 001? There's nothing, let me tell you, there's nothing like in the state 001. You don't inside your ward. And your local government is in your ward. So 001 is in your ward. There's nothing like state to 001. It's nothing like I'm inside in the state 001. Everybody is inside in his own ward. You could be the first person to listen by virtue of your position.
But operationally as a sitting governor, he becomes
the leader of the party.
I don't know about that.
How would you know?
I don't know about that. Because if you say so, then the leader of APC in the Lagos State.
The governor.
So they are not to the rule.
Yeah.
They are not to the rule.
And the leader of NMPP in Kano, says Kwankwaso.
Why? So it's not going to all those kind of things. See, leadership is not because I'm a governor. Leadership is not because I'm a minister. You must have something that makes you a leader. Today, if I say I want to go to APC, that will be the end of me talking about it. I'm not going to, you see other states. You see other states, joining. Leaders in other states where PDP, they join. Now because everybody, I'm not a leader that's concentrated in the states. No. If people say, look, gentlemen, we have had a lot of PDP, we have to move. Watch those who will camp in Benue. Watch those who will camp in Plateau. Watch those who will camp in Abia. Watch those who will camp in Edo.
Before the governor's movement to the East, was there any kind of conversation between the two of you when you did know that that was going to happen? Because before that, before that time, the governor had been in the public saying, complaining or responding to people who are accusing of abandoning the peace path. That is that it was not he that ought to advance the peace path. That thing. The leader of our leader ought to have called the governor of everybody and all of that. That didn't happen, and he shouldn't be seen to be chopping the ball. And then when he was going to join the APC, he started commissioning projects, and there were things he started saying that those people, we want to support Tinubu, don't follow, no corner support, and all of that.
I don't know who supported Tinubu follow corner. What he was referring to? How could that be when the whole Nigeria know that I'm not my supporter of Tinubu? What is corner? When I have stated openly, that is what I will do. When the whole presidents of PDP have accused me by working for Tinubu, so how could that be? But what happened to me? No, if I do corner, but so many people will not go. The council chairman will go. People will go. And let me tell you, I've always stated is that why most people don't trust politicians is the issue that people don't keep to their rest. And which is very wrong. I want to be that politician. I want to be a politician that I have said something and go asleep. This is what I have said. If you need to think about it, everybody knows that what I said, this is what I will do. I will do it.
From all I can hear, clearly all is not well.
No, it's not well.
All is not well.
All is not well. All can never be well.
Why can't all be well?
In politics, all can never be well.
But most things should be well in politics.
Nobody's fighting.
Because it was alleged that there was a meeting that you broke out in Abuja. The governor was present and all of that. Everything.
I've always said that we can be like people who are economical with the truth. And I'm not like that. The governor cannot say that I have not broken a meeting between him, speaker, and the leadership of the house. The governor cannot say that I have not broken a meeting between the elders, which he was present in Chief Alabama South. It is, you see, that's why, you see, I don't like politicians who are economical with truth. There are things that shouldn't come to the National Television to begin to talk about. When to read that, you are not matured. But that's why I said here, can Sheyi in his conscience say this and this and that? Can the governor in his conscience say, no, there was no meeting that was between himself, speaker, and the leader?
Yeah, there was a...
Would you say that, would you say that they will never call a meeting of the elders' council? See, look, I'm a politician. There are certain steps you take. There are certain things you should take that people will know that indeed you are serious about this. Take for example, nobody told me to go and visit the assembly. I have to say, look, I'm a politician. Assembly, I'm coming to visit you tomorrow to say thank you for your support. I didn't even go to tell me that. I didn't even go to tell me I come National Assembly. This 30 period. Thank you. We all work together. I believe we continue to work together. Nobody will tell me as a politician. I call party chairman to say, look, people have me here, giving us support all this while. I don't continue to work together. I don't need anybody to say I should do that. I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody to say, look, to call, look, how are you? This is I wish you Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year. I don't be able to tell you to do that. I mean that things I talk about, whether you are serious, there are steps you take. So when somebody says, the Lord, I'm going to call a meeting. First of all, the rest of you too, what role have you played? It's very laughable.
So this piece didn't
happen now. Just for example, what stops you to put the call to the speaker? Speaker, how are you? How are you doing the Christmas? I wish you prosperous New Year. Do you need to be to call it a meeting for you to wish them happy New Year? Come on. And you like to, I say, it depends on what's in your mind. And people have to believe that the moment you say you are working for Tinubu, which means that. No. I have said, assuming PDP does not have crisis now, how many people would have left PDP? How many people were able to say whether they PDP or not, I will support Tinubu? So the issue of saying, who? This is the man who the way Nigerians have known clearly. I ask, how many ministers have abused the way I'm doing abuse? Why? Everybody knows my stand. Everybody knows my position. It's not hidden. Who follow Korakora? Who? When you know, you the journalist know, this is Wike's what he's been doing. He said he will support president. I have supported president. I don't think, I thought like I said before, after president, I'm the most abused politician. Why are they abusing me? Why are they not happy?
So can I say, is it safe to say then that this truce that was achieved this year is now gone to the wind?
I don't know.
And if the governor said he is not going to represent the 2025 projects, because we understand that was also an issue. If he was not going to represent it because the sole administrator had already presented that budget to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly already passed a 2025 budget for Rivers State. If anybody talking about the budget, it should be 2026. If the governor's argument is along that line, will it not be right?
That's why I'm saying that. See, when you say right, they're very right in politics. Well, politics is give and take. Let me tell you. You see, you must take such a stand when you know you are in control. You don't take a stand when you know you are under control. You don't do that. Nobody knows that politics. For example, I can tell you this. In 2025, the president was to go and present budget. In 2025 budget. No, 2025. He got intelligence that there are some things moving on in the National Assembly. He shifted it and called the leadership for discussion. And they discussed. And then he moved on to go and present the budget. You cannot say, no, nobody does that in politics. Nobody does that. You should know that, see, even if you have the control of the house, you must not take them for granted. Look at the United States, the Congress. They move left, right, and center. The president has to go and lobby, right? It's allowed. It's not where you say, oh, I must do this. You must say that if you are the one who is totally in charge.
Okay, so just to follow.
Don't do that in politics. Give and take. So there are things that you do on the ground. Even me. As I'm preparing my 2026 budget, which I will send to Mr. President, and Mr. President will send to National Assembly. I must talk with the House Committee. I must talk with the Senate Committee.
And now that
the judge are in charge of FCT.
You just mentioned the senator or the Senate Committee in charge of the FCT. What about the senator who was elected from the FCT?
Yeah.
whose relationship with you has been a bit frosty, and since she was elected.
That's again when I say I don't like people who play double standard. you see, politicians should be careful. Why? Okay, let me show you. As if I knew. The senator wrote to me later.
Senator Iwechi King?
Yes, wrote to me later.
Recently?
Yes. Showing appreciation what I'm doing in Abuja.
This is the show you back in this time.
No, let me tell you. Because I said, let me tell you. This has nothing to do with 1 million. Since I'm reading that letter so that I can what research. Look at it. It was dated 14th November 2025. His Excellency, Barrister Nyesom University, appreciation for the rehabilitation of Kunene Street Rule, Matama. I want to express my appreciation to you and the Federal Capital Development Administration for the recent rehabilitation and fixing of the road in Kunene Street, Matama. On behalf of my fellow residents, please accept my heartfelt thanks and that of the community for your dedication. Listen, for your dedication to service and your continuous efforts in ensuring that Abuja remains a model city. Kindly be assured of my continued collaboration in advancing the development goals of the Federal Capital Territory. Sincerely, Senator Irete Hiba Kengibi. That thanking me for my dedication to making sure Abuja remains a model city.
It doesn't remove
I'm coming to the point.
Yeah.
So if you have that kind of legacy you're talking about, what are we saying?
No, just a moment. Are you saying then that you're collaborating with her, or that you're consulting with her?
The point is that it shouldn't be something personal. The only person I should talk about is the president, whom I'm owed duty, who is my appointer, who appointed me, right? Now, I relate with the committees. Overseeing the affairs of the FCT. And luckily, she's a member of that committee, right? So, in anything I'm doing for FCT concerned, I relate to that committee, which is a member. It's not something personal to say I must have a personal relationship. No. As long as I say we should not reduce governance to that level. The moment I have a relationship with the committee overseeing the affairs of the Senate, of the university, and you're a member of that committee, that is enough.
But you heard only recently, the senators were upset. They raised this issue of Abuja being filthy on the floor of the Senate. I'm sure you also heard her contributions.
No. She raised a motion
yes.
of urgency. And by the rules, what is urgent here? You see, we should never have to appreciate when people do things. You have commended me for making Abuja to be a model city. If that is correct, the mere fact that there are 2 areas that you think have not been done well does not generally mean that you are not doing well in Abuja. No. Yeah. And I think people to learn this, that today, look at what Abuja used to be in the past 10 years. This is what it is today, which means there's appreciable improvement in terms of security, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of when we came on board, you cannot do without security, in terms of sanitation. So that, and I told you, we never gave us a job. It was given by the previous administration, and they are telling her to expire before you can handle. You have to do a procurement, and it is not easy. And by now, you see that there is a change. Yes, before there was, because we had to do new procurement for new people to take over the sanitation matter. And we must be patient. But you cannot have a modern city which you have appreciated me, and then you now go back to say, Abuja is That means it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't make a modern city. Excellent. If a city is dirty, it cannot be a modern city. If there's no infrastructure, it cannot be a modern city. If there's no security, it cannot be a modern city.
Alright, that's not answer. That's good.
Yes. Let's go back squarely to 2027 politics.
Yeah.
And you just said that politics will start. You start politics fully in January.
Yes.
Most people think that what's going to happen in 2027 will be a rematch of 2023. But so much has changed between 2023 and now. Today, APC has well over 28 governors, and your party, at least your nominal party, is in legal coma. The party that's appears to be rising is ADC. How much do you rate the chances of that party? Because we also understand that on January 1, will be joining APC formally, ADC formally, and people have said that if the opposition had come together in 2023, they would have had a better chance of defeating the incumbents. So today, how do you rate the chances of what is now the left of the opposition against the president? Do you agree that it should be a rematch of 2023?
Let me tell you something. It's really unfortunate. I've said it clearly. And whether anybody wants to believe it or not, if there should be any position that will give fight to APC, it should have been PDP.
Yes.
I don't know where you are saying that this is right. I don't know where they are rising. Mention the state where they are rising. Mention. I'm talking about this newspaper politics. Every politics is local. As for the issue of presidency, we have agreed. But those who are supporting us, now look, it's likely that PDP cannot have that chance now to take over the presidency. That does not mean that PDP cannot win the state. That does not mean that PDP cannot win the state. You know, the person you see, take for example, if I come to the River State now, for example, and I say I'm going to support PDP, for example, or PDP is going to give a return. The tendency is that council chairman, House of Assembly will support that. It's leadership. I've already told you, when people have confidence in you, don't betray it. And that confidence, as far as I'm concerned, you can't take it away as far as nothing is concerned. You cannot. You can't. You can't. You see, look at the local structure. Who are those who are council chairmen today? Who are the councillors today? So it is difficult, no matter the amount of money you have, for you to put that. It is going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be very, very difficult. If our own team says we're going to support you for governorship, people must sleep. If we say we won't support you, you have to fight it hard. That's the point we are trying to make. So when I say politics general, let me tell you, why I say so. Next year is a political year. Why is it a political year? Primaries will take place in the various political parties. So as a politician, you have to let everyone listen. You have to organize yourself. You have to be ready to play this politics now. We are talking 2 years talking about infrastructure in Abuja. We are talking 2 years talking about security in Abuja. We are talking 2 years to talk how do we fix the sanitation. Listen, area councils will take place in Abuja in February, right? Do you think, as it is today, that PDP will win the election in the area council? With what the administration of the president has done, it will be difficult.
What of you?
It will be difficult. What about Labour? You have to see, that's what I've said. But you see, for you to win, you must put your house in order. It is not easy. And let us tell ourselves the simple truth. See what is happening in Abuja today. Under whose administration is that? It's under the administration of Ahmed Bola. And so people have that sympathy for him. It is not as if it is PDP. No. Look,
well, Abuja people don't like voting for the ruling party.
You know that before. Because you have to show what you've done. You see, today, why would they vote for the ruling party? When you have not gone to the rural areas to do anything for them. When you have not seen them in the city. Today, go to rural areas. See how the roads are springing up everywhere. Today in the FCT capital, see how the development is. So why would you now say that, look, we won't vote for the ruling party?
But you know that there are parts of the elites that are not happy with what is happening in the FCT.
Natural. It's natural. You can't go now where everybody's happy. I've already told you this.
So how are you measuring the fact that the president will win or that the area councils will go to the APC as a result of what is happening when you know that everybody might not sell
How do you measure
developments in the city?
How do you support candidates? You support candidates based on what their party are ready to do. Let people, whether you like as a person or not, shouldn't be, is what has he done to change FCT?
So for some people it might be what has he done for the FCT, but for some people it will be what has he done for me?
No, you cannot do everything for everybody. It's not possible. Even if he stays there for 20 years, it will be difficult.
But that's a correlation of
No, please, no, that's not correct. Today, if I'm supporting area council chairman, I have a reason to say, vote for this person. Why do they vote for him? They vote for him because I can count. Go see what you have done. Go out and see what you have done. Somebody see what you have done. That is the truth. Except you have a personal thing.
No, Your Excellency, let me put it like
no, let me tell you.
You won't say when I'm allowed on the question.
No, you have said a list.
No.
Where is it?
Maybe the land administration is a key area of concern in the federal capital.
Yes.
There are feelings that land is being taken arbitrarily and partiality in land and rent administration. And Mope was talking about disaffection. This is potentially an explosive.
The starting decisions you take, that will not be directed to everybody. It has been like that. And when you take a decision that affects the elite, obviously, someone has come to make a change. And that change is affecting you.
Suppose they then make political gains out of that.
Oh, come on them. Family. Look. That's a example. I've been business. If you know that's the history, that is a land that was given under Abasu Joseph to some Ghanaian who called that Jonathan something. My boy came and said, look, we needed partnership with some Nigerians who were able to help for approval for the movement. That's how the issue of Polo Homes. Polo Homes does not have any agreement with the FCT. No. And unfortunately, that lead agreement had expired. And what they did, in order not to demand Nigerians of that, look, we know him, we have no business with FCT. Jonathan something, not Jonathan aspect, sorry, the agreement you have with FCT had expired. But we must protect Nigerians for other people who are already on watching properly. And what do we do? To give them direct CFO to protect them. Ordinarily, if we go by the rules, whatever you are doing for your stand, you must stand. Now, and I said, look, we will cancel the CFOs, that the CFO that the payroll are giving, and give to them Nigerians directly, so they have their direct CFO, not under this hotel. From my law, there's no relationship. But we don't want to hear the truth. We don't want to hear the truth. I was saying, nothing should go ahead again. And the man went to court. He went to court. We are going to what the outcome of the court. He using that to say, oh, that was developing. Nobody does that. I said, the river control the area. Go and bring the whole thing down. He can't go to court. And using court to now begin to develop. When you don't have the order.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Community should know that it is difficult. The government will not do it yesterday. The government will not do it today. So many things happen. And you know a lot of land complained. And now you see a government that is taking position to say, look, we can't continue this way. Yes, it will affect you. That's the sense of government. Look at the decision that the president took about the subsidy. It's a strong decision.
Exactly, which is where I was
It's a strong decision. Who's benefiting from it? It's at many mistakes.
You've just said
to have more money to provide infrastructure in the state.
Your Excellency, that's the problem. You see, because a lot of politicians always, or governors, or people with executive power, always assume that infrastructure is a thing. While infrastructure is important, the quality of life of Nigerians is even more important. Are they able to eat? Do they have access to healthcare? What sort of schools do they go to? These are the things that affect Nigerians.
When you say infrastructure, like the quality of life, infrastructure does not only mean doing roads. Infrastructure has to talk about improving the health standards, improving the quality of schools. Today, go and see what's happening in FCT. Is there any improvement in terms of the schools?
You say that across the states. That's the point.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that if they have to give accounts, I am giving accounts in terms of FCT. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Unfortunately, it's a federal structure where the president cannot, as his school principal, begin to hold the king, flog governors to come and account for extra monies, the tortoises, subsidy. It is the people of those states that have
that's what I'm saying. It is the people that decide. But if you are saying in FCT, can they say that the improvement in terms of change of quality of life? You see, one thing I've always told people, you can also say, for example, if you don't have a good road, that will affect your life. And negatively.
It certainly will, Your Excellency. Let me concede that to you. It certainly will. But let me also say.
Let me finish. Let me finish. First thing first. Can you today go to work? How? Yes. Because the roads have been opened up. Can you today say there's improvement in terms of our schools? Yes. They are renovating the schools. Can you today say, look, there's quality? What most quality of schools? Exactly. I'm coming. Infrastructure is only one of the factors. Not only having teachers. No. You can have good teachers without a good environment. You cannot. You cannot affect. So you cannot say just when you determine to say, oh, you are not doing anything. You cannot say that the government of G is not doing anything in terms of improving the quality of education.
And so on, just to follow up on that, safety is what I want to ask you about, just to follow up on safety. So the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has its 2025 rankings of the states. The FCT is in the top 5. It's Lagos, Kaduna, Oyo, FCT, and Ogun State. But we're talking to entrepreneurs that are there. They've talked about the roads, they've talked about the flyovers, the infrastructure, and they commended your leadership of that. But they do talk about safety. You've seen what's been going on with the insecurity around the country and so on. So what are you doing to make things more safe for business owners and individuals?
And that is why we're making the environment to be to create an environment for business to live on. That has to be that you have to improve security. If you don't have good infrastructure, you cannot talk about doing business. You cannot. Maybe you're not right away. Our problem is that we think that these things have to be done at the same time. No. Think first that for government, for infrastructure, for business to improve, there must be good road network. It is very, very critical. It's one. 2, there must be money in terms of security. Have you improved the security in our city? We didn't say no. No, you can't say that. What about health? No, that's what I'm saying. That's what is being you said here in terms of ranking. That Abuja has applied. And what I'm saying, component of that. You cannot be around. And when there's no improvement in security, you cannot. You cannot. What about health? That's what I'm saying. The only problem about health is that, one, we have provided, first of all, we have to talk about infrastructure, lots of health. We have to talk about it. We have to. Are we doing anything in terms of improving infrastructure in health? Certainly, yes. Yes. But you see, when you say, you cannot only take one issue. Then you have to say, nothing is happening. It must be cumulative. For you to say, are we not doing well in terms of business? Why are they doing in terms of business? Because certain parameters are used to judge. So you know when you sit down, you say, okay, this is not working. And therefore you conclude that nothing is going on in Abuja. I take people, take things step by step.
Yes.
As it is today, go and see the contract that I read in terms of improvement of the schools. Not less than 200 schools, as we speak now, is going on renovation. In the schools, you don't have good infrastructure. If you don't have the best teachers, it cannot work.
Yeah, but Your Excellency, we cannot remove the place of teachers, quality teachers.
That is quality now. That my shop is in. You are saying that.
Yeah.
First of all, take it that I've not taken steps. First of all, to improve the quality of education. I've not taken steps. Improve the infrastructure and terms of schools. You cannot. I have really told people this, and that is the mistake in assessment. You don't just say, oh, you cannot say things are moving when the quality of teachers. No. First of all, you talk about the quality of teachers in terms of the quality in terms of training. You cannot say, these are good teachers, and they are not good schools. It will not work.
Can I ask you, how many
Let's go. Let's because we are running out of time.
Yeah, we need to have some quick takeaways. We have just about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. And we need to have some quick takeaways. One is on the...
Are you are asking me a question?
You want to ask?
I thought it was my time to ask.
All right.
We cannot deny that governors have so much money at their disposal now. I know a governor who takes on the average 77 billion naira a month, one of the South governors. What advice do you have for these governors at this time? I also know a governor who admitted that he has done in 2 years what he didn't do in 4 years. In fact, it's the Kwara governor that told me this. So some of them are doing something. But in what areas do you want to see improvement on their part so that people can feel the impact of this subsidy removal that has brought in
if the president has made it possible for you to have access to funding, then it means that you have to use such funding to improve the quality of life. How do you talk about quality of life for citizens? You talk about good schools. You talk about good road network. You talk about improvement in health. You talk about agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it can be unfair to say that because all these ones have not been done, therefore nothing has happened. It's wrong. I've told people that you have 4 years in office. We've taken 2 years. You still have another 2 years, which means you still have opportunity to change things. So if I have said, look, we have done good roads, we have done renovation of schools. That means we are taking steps to improve the quality of life. When anybody likes it or not, when you talk about assessment, when somebody comes to Abuja, for example, that's the first thing that matters. They say, look, Abuja is not changing. Why is it not changing? The roads are bad. When the roads are good, then they give the story as I indicated that, okay, now, things are happening. So I have told you that we have also taken in terms of health, that we have taken number of health that we are trying to renovate and put well and provide good quality of health infrastructure. It's important.
It's very important. But I want to bring things back to Rivers State. In your body language, so far today, you said you cannot say on your mandate we can stand. That gives you, a ticket to join to another party. You said as a leader, you have to not break agreements. You've also said that joining the party means what can you bring, what can you deliver. There's Governor Fubara had your support for a second term in Rivers State because it was you that delivered Rivers State for the president in the 2023 elections, and it seems it is you that has the control here. So can you let the Nigerians know that you are both on the same team and he has a second term?
I always say that there are so many factors you have to take into consideration. Trust is very important. Even if you can provide good road network and you don't have that trust, when you don't have that trust in you in terms of moving the state forward, it's a factor. It's a factor. Yes, in doing this, for example, if you can't work with legislature, how can you provide good road network? How can you provide good culture school? So it requires unity. It requires measure and must work with the legislature.
Okay, so
That's why you have seen that the national level, the president knows that the not only him cannot. He needs the National Assembly to pass the budget for him, to be able to access the funds to work. So if you don't do that, whatever you are thinking is wrong.
So as the leader in Rivers State, in order for us not to be talking about Wike APC, Safe Fubara APC, days after tomorrow, as the leader, what are you going to do differently to ensure that both of you work together, at least for the president?
And with the house.
That's number one. Then two, the January, we heard from Grapevine that your talk about January is that you are embarking on local government tour. Is it a show of force? What is it really all about? Quickly, because we have just about 8 minutes.
Now, I've told you that first of all, that when I say I'm pouring local government, the part of it is that, thank you for giving us support. We'll send me their support. They never ask you, what have you done? As the foreign minister, what have you done? So there must be a synergy. If there's no such synergy between the government and the state level, and the legislature, and the general government, it doesn't work.
So you are calling for that synergy?
I've only done that. And then like that, which is the only.
Are you going to work practically to achieve that?
Have a synergy with the legislature. Have a synergy and in truth. If you don't just come out on national television, say, oh, I'm providing road. Who provide the funds for you? In the legislature. You don't let see ourselves.
All right.
So you need it's critical. If you don't work well with the legislature, if you don't can never to the legislature to provide or to have access to those who search for how you change the life of the people. I think it's telling the truth.
All right, so whatever is that, no question. No. Thank you so much. Let me just start from my colleagues, Babajide, to talk to someone.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Rutu, I hope it was a very good experience.
Yes, it was fantastic. Thank you.
And Festus as well.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for also coming to find out what we're doing in FCT and what is happening in the state. Whether you like it or not, they are not the synergy. They must be.
Yes.
And let nobody go home and deceive you. You cannot do it alone. You require the support. You as a governor, leadership entails that it is for you to know how to relate with the legislature to be able to move the state ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. It's been nice having you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's the last edition of Leader Shout for the year. It's been a very wonderful year. We look forward to events of 2026 as they unfold. The minister has already promised that January is going to be the flag off. We'll see you then. My name is Benga Aruleva.